Welcome to the course Critical Thinking and Practical Reasoning. We're in the last session of the Unit 3 and we are looking at causal explanations and arguments. Now, the aim of this session is to state what an explanation is in critical thinking, define what an argument is, and show the basic components of an argument. We are going to state and explain the difference between argument and explanation. Causal explanations and arguments. One of the most vital kinds of non-arguments is what is referred to as explanation. Not all passages contain arguments. Because logic, critical thinking, and practical reasoning deal with argument, it is essential and imperative to be able to distinguish between passages that contain arguments from those that do not. An explanation, on the other, an explanation is a group of statements that actually tries to show why something is the case or not prove that something is the case. Look at this example. Titanic sank because it was struck by an iceberg. Now, in this example, for instance, it is clear that the speaker is trying to say that Titanic sank. Everybody already knows that it sank. Instead, he is trying to explain why it sank. Of course, you can argue about whether a given explanation is or not correct, but you would have to use valid or invalid argument. What are arguments? Arguments are composed of one or more premises and a conclusion. We encounter arguments everywhere in everyday life, at school, at work, in magazine ads, in newspapers, editorial papers, in political discussions, television, documentaries, and on radio talk shows. Of course, people do not use language only to offer arguments, but they also use it to tell jokes, sing songs, recite poetry, express feelings, and etc. So if they do so, how then can we distinguish arguments from non-arguments? Say explanations. In your course test, you find answers to this, so you may have to refer to that. Now, on the other hand, you have to pay attention to the fact that premises are statements in an argument offered as evidence or reasons in support of another statement. That is conclusion. A statement is a sentence that can be viewed as either true or false. And a conclusion is a statement in an argument that the premises are intended to support or prove. So establishing these statements, then it means that therefore in every argument there should be premises and a conclusion. In this sense, an argument accordingly is a group of statements, one or more of which is called the premises, are intended to prove or support another statement, which we will call the conclusion. In this session, we read that causal claims, explanation, and argument respond to the different questions. One complication in this session is that causal claims cannot be used as premises or arguments. In this case, the arguments that use causal claims in this way attempt to excuse something, but it is a mistake to think that they all do. Some of them may be explanations.